How did Phoebe lie to us about the whole lobster thing? What Italian curse word did we learn from Friends? And which supporting character gave us the most epic Friends catchphrase ever? Hi, I'm Dylan, and you're watching Awesome Movies. She's your lobster! My dear Phoebe, you've always believed in Ross and Rachel. Even when Ross almost lost hope, she knew how to cheer him up.
Come on, you guys, it's a known fact that lobsters fall in love and mate for life.
Aw, isn't that romantic? "You're my lobster" is the best way to tell someone how much you care about them. So it's no wonder that this phrase is everywhere, from greeting cards to t-shirts and mugs. But it turns out that it's actually wrong. Yeah, Phoebe lied to us. Lobsters don't mate for life. They just do the deed and part ways. It suddenly seems like everything we learned about love from Friends is wrong. And yet, some animals do bond with their partner for life. For example, gray wolves, macaroni penguins, and bald eagles are monogamous. But I understand that the phrase, "she's your bald eagle," sounds way less catchy than "she's your lobster," so I guess we can forgive Phoebe. Joey doesn't share food! Joey was always obsessed with food, but it was only in the 10th season that we learned just how big his obsession was. He wouldn't even let his date take a few fries off his plate.
It's about what the fries represent.
What?
All food!
Well, I actually have to agree with Joey. I mean, why do some people think that it's okay to order a salad and then steal someone else's food? It's totally unacceptable. Besides, you've probably had a friend who'd consider it okay to pinch some milk from your fridge or eat the last slice of your pizza when you turn your back. The best thing you can do in this situation is to yell at them that you don't share food and refer to yourself in the third person. Mark my words, they'll never try to steal your food again. Could I be any more? Every single thing Chandler says is funny, and you can't argue with that. But this particular phrase is iconic.
Okay, I don't sound like that. That is so not true.
Yes, it is true. He'd continually emphasize a random word in a sentence, and his friends would mock him for it. And it wasn't just the gang. Even Richard did it once.
Could that shot be any prettier?
So it's natural that many fans borrowed Chandler's catchphrase for their everyday life. But if you decide to use it too, be warned. You might get addicted to it. After all, could it be any more catchy? Friend zone. We all know what it is now, but few people are aware that it's thanks to Friends that we use this phrase. It's not that Joey came up with the term, but he definitely made it famous.
The friend zone.
No. I'm not in the zone.
But he turned out to be wrong because, in about a year, Ross began dating Rachel, and after all the challenges, they ended up together. It's funny how at some point, Joey found himself in the friend zone when he had a crush on Rachel. This means that even the biggest womanizer and the cutest man on the planet can become mayor of the zone. If Joey got there, no one's immune. Smelly Cat. I think you'll agree that it's the best song Phoebe ever wrote.
Don't feel bad, because it's a hard song.
Did you know that the episode with Stephanie, the professional singer, was literally the beginning of Smelly Cat? Musician Chrissy Hind, who played Stephanie, helped Lisa Kudrow and the Friends writers create the tune. Initially, the song was supposed to be a one-time thing, but everyone liked it so much that it became one of the most popular running gags in the show and an integral part of Phoebe's character. And even after the show was over, Smelly Cat remained a hit, and I'd be lying if I told you that I don't sing it when my friends and I get together. Do you? Share in the comments below if you like singing it too. Pivot! The episode where Ross bought a couch is unforgettable, largely because of the way he wouldn't stop yelling "pivot" while trying to carry it up the stairs.
Pivot! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
We're with Chandler on this one. Yelling the same word repeatedly didn't do anything except make people laugh their heads off. In fact, that's what the Friends actors did on the set while filming. David, Matthew, and Jennifer just couldn't stop laughing. That's how ridiculous the whole thing was. And now, if you tell me that you don't yell "pivot" at least once when you're maneuvering a piece of furniture, I won't even believe you. How you doing? Friends gave us so many things, including tons of laughs and the Rachel haircut, but on top of it all, the show gave us the best pickup line ever.
How you doing?
Joey even made Phoebe blush with it. But although this phrase is so famous, we only heard it in the middle of season 4, and Joey only said it 19 times in the show. Still, it was remarkable, maybe even more remarkable than his magical backpacking through Western Europe story that also became a thing after Friends. And although "how you doing" might sound slightly cheesy, if you say it with Joey's voice inflection and try to copy his unmatched confidence, you're likely to be successful. Have you ever tried to use this pickup line on anyone? Share in the comments if it worked for you. I know! Monica would always utter this phrase in a loud, high-pitched voice that became her trademark.
I know!
It certainly added to her obsessive-compulsive and competitive nature. Throughout the series, all of her friends would imitate this "I know" at least once, and it was always hilarious.
I know!
We now use it pretty often in real life when someone tells us something obvious, like, "We had fun today," or "You look great." "I'm fine." When Ross said this phrase, he was trying to pretend that he was cool with Rachel and Joey's romantic relationship.
I'm fine.
But, in fact, he wasn't fine at all. None of us were fine, to be honest. Even Matt LeBlanc and Jennifer Aniston hated the storyline about Rachel and Joey dating. But let's get back to this iconic phrase that we tend to use when we want to assure others that we're fine, but we are definitely not fine. And yet, even if you want to copy Ross on this one, please don't go all the way. What I mean is, don't burn your hands on hot plates with fajitas, get drunk, and dance to the Chicago soundtrack on the table. Please, just don't. That is brand new information! Phoebe said this when Ross thought that he broke the news about Rachel being pregnant with his child.
That is brand new information!
But everyone already knew about it, so Phoebe and Joey had to pretend that they were utterly surprised. Just like Phoebe, we tend to say, "This is brand new information" when someone tells us something we're not supposed to know. Or, well, when something is totally obvious. Like when someone says that they got a nose job and you remember that they used to have a huge schnozzle and you can just go, "That is brand new information." Sure, it usually sounds fake, but that's the beauty of this phrase, isn't it? It's a moo point. Sure, he said it wrong, and the phrase should be a moot point. But even if Joey mispronounced it, it doesn't make him less right.
It's like a cow's opinion. It just doesn't matter.
The way Joey explains his take on the phrase, can you tell me that it doesn't make sense? His logic is unbeatable. And I can totally tell you that in real life, you can use this phrase in an argument you can't win. Like when you argue with your friends about who's the best superhero or which TV show is better, you'll end the dispute extremely quickly by saying that what your opponent is saying is a moo point. After all, you'll confuse them completely. As a result, no one will want to argue with you anymore, and you'll win by default. Unagi. According to Ross, it's a state of total awareness. Only by achieving true unagi can you be prepared for any danger that may befall you, he said to Phoebe and Rachel. He repeatedly tried to attack them, wanting to prove that they don't have unagi, but nothing worked. Well, first of all, it probably didn't work because unagi isn't a concept from karate.
Ah, salmon skin roll.
It's just a freshwater eel. But you can still use it to teach your friends to be more aware, just like Ross did, or just utter it only when you order sushi. But whenever you pronounce unagi, be sure to make this finger to your head move. Without it, this whole thing is just, well, a moo point. Vaffanapoli. When Chandler stole Joey's girlfriend in season 4, Joey was obviously mad at him. And when he saw his friend with an ex, he said an Italian phrase that became memorable for all Friends fans.
Vaffanapoli, huh?
And then Rachel repeated it too when she was mad at Ross. But let's figure out what this phrase means and how we can use it in real life. Well, we know for a fact that it's a curse phrase. It literally translates from Italian as "go to Naples," and it means "go to hell." Yeah, that's how much Italians like Naples. So if you want to tell someone to shove it and don't want your mom to know you're cussing, just ask them to go to Naples in Italian. My eyes! Phoebe screamed this when she saw Monica and Chandler doing it.
Oh, my eyes! My eyes!
The whole scene was completely hilarious, especially when Phoebe and Rachel got Ross to jump around with them, happy that he got the ugly naked guy's apartment. Ross shrieking joyfully is one of the most amazing things in Friends, isn't it? Well, even though we don't adopt his squealing technique, we have been known to yell, "My eyes! My eyes!" just like Phoebe did. We do it every time we see something we never wanted to see and realize that we can't unsee it, and it'll remain with us forever. Like when we saw Miley Cyrus twerking or Katy Perry jumping onto a huge cake during her performance. Oh my God! How could we ever forget her? Janice's catchphrase was as unforgettable and as epic as her laugh. By the way, did you notice that she was in every single season of Friends at least once? Well, she didn't physically appear in season 6, but we did hear her voice in one of the episodes.
That's why I made you this tape. Happy Happy birthday!
Back to Janice's catchphrase. It's best to screech it when you unexpectedly see someone from your past or when something shocking happens. Whenever you say, "Oh my God," in real life, remember that your voice must be as high-pitched as possible, but don't overdo it. You don't want your friends to say that they're going to Yemen just to get rid of you. We were on a break! There's a lot of discussion about whether they were or not, but no one can argue that there's no Friends without this phrase. Ross repeated it so frequently, and he even told both of his kids that he and Rachel were on a break.
No matter what mommy says, we really were on a break.
Well, indeed, it's a decent phrase we can use to get out of all kinds of trouble. And I'm not only talking about a romantic relationship. If your boss sees that you're using Instagram at work, just tell them that you were on a break. And if your boss is a Friends fan, they won't even get mad at you. But still, what do you think about this whole situation? Were Ross and Rachel on a break or not? Which one of these phrases do you use in daily life? Are there any other Friends quotes we missed out? Share in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and stay awesome. Thanks for watching.